All right, hello everyone, and welcome. Glad to have you join us. We're going to get our presentation started in a few minutes. We just want to allow enough time for our attendees to join us on the webinar. So if you'll just hang out for a few moments, we will get started very soon. And hello again to anyone that has joined us. Welcome to our webinar for International College Counselor Connect. We're going to get started in about one more minute. Just want to allow enough time to give anybody the chance to log into the webinar today. So just stick around for just a few more seconds, and we will get the presentation going and hopefully provide you some valuable information about Stony Brook. All right, so I think we're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whatever part of the world you are joining us from. We're glad to have you here today. My name is Benjamin Dobbs. I am the Director of International Admissions here at Stony Brook University, and I'm glad to welcome you to our final International Education Week webinar, where we are focusing on speaking with our International College Counselor Network about Stony Brook. So we have a great presentation today that we hope you find informative. And I'm actually going to introduce my colleague, Mark Cortez, who is our Executive Director of Admissions here at Stony Brook. And he is going to walk you through a presentation for us just to give you more insight into Stony Brook. And then, of course, at the end of the presentation, if you have any questions for us, feel free to put them in the Q&A box and we'll be happy to answer them for you. Mark?
Thanks, Ben. And again, I echo the welcome from the many locations that you are joining us and logging in from today. We are so appreciative of the work and partnership that we have with many of you. All of those, of course, are led by our great international team. And as Ben mentioned, his work in overseeing our international team, but also the team that supports him in the work. So we have admission counselors behind the scenes as well who support our broader efforts with international students. And we have in-country representatives located in various markets across the country that allow us to help engage continuously with students and with school counselors, agents, and advisors from across the globe. Again, my name is Mark, and I have the pleasure of leading our admission efforts on behalf of Stony Brook University. Today, I'm going to talk about some of those efforts with you. We want to share some highlights about what makes us a pretty unique place, what we believe makes us a pretty unique place. And then, as Ben mentioned, certainly we are open to addressing any questions that you have. So let's go ahead and get started with a little bit of information about Stony Brook. Now, our approach to this presentation this morning is to share a little bit of everything. We want to make sure we can share more insight into our dynamic public university, but we also want to make sure that we can provide some of the more tactical information, like updates to our application that may be impactful as you're supporting students and families. So starting us off, we are the #1 ranked public university in the state of New York. This is the third year in a row that U.S. News and World Report has ranked us as the #1 public in the state of New York. And we are the number 59 among national universities. Again, that number has held consistent for multiple years in a row. So a lot of good things are happening at Stony Brook. Those good things happen across a number of areas, but more specifically, a number of campuses. So you're going to see at the very top of this slide where the water fountain is. This is a glimpse of our Stony Brook, New York campus, our flagship campus right here on Long Island. What's great about this campus is we are home to just under 28,000 total students studying across multidisciplinary areas, 200 combination programs of undergraduate majors, minors, graduate programs, all that gives students an opportunity to really tailor their experience right here on our campus. We'll share a little bit more about some of our numbers on the next slides, but I do want to also make sure you're aware that we have a campus in Korea. On the bottom left-hand side of your screen, you're going to see that photo is a picture of our campus in Korea. And at our campus in Korea, we have students who are studying in programs like engineering and business. In fact, those are the only programs that we offer in conjunction with our campus in Korea. Now, our campus in Korea is a joint services campus. And what joint services mean is that there are two State University of New York institutions that are housed at this campus. So Stony Brook University and the Fashion Institute of Technology, FIT, is also housed as a part of the State University of New York system on this campus. We'll talk about pathways in just a few more minutes, but we want to start by demonstrating, yes, we are a global university, and yes, we have resources for students, not just here in New York, but across the globe as well. As we move to our center portion of the screen, you're going to see an orange and yellow building. That is on the Atlantic Ocean. So our location on Long Island, our Stony Brook, New York campus is on the northern shore of Long Island. The Atlantic Ocean is on the south shore of the island and home to the School of Marine and Atmospheric Sciences Research Center, which is the location you see in that middle picture. At that research center, we have students who are able to study directly on the Atlantic Ocean and a number of research vessels that we have housed there. Students are also able to live in this location for a semester at a time to do their research and to do their study in one of our marine or marine biology, marine vertebrate programs, and it really immerses them in that experience. Now, you'll see on a map that we are located in the geographic center of Long Island. We are 60 miles east of New York City and about 60 miles west of the Hamptons. If you've heard of the Hamptons before, this location for our Marine and Atmospheric Sciences Center is located in Southampton. So again, we are at the midpoint of the island. We'll show you where this is at on a map in just a few moments. And then finally, the last portion of our campuses is our Stony Brook University Hospital System. Now, we are a comprehensive campus. Of course, comprehensive campus means that all of our programs are offered on one campus in one location, including our medical programs and our university hospital system flagship campus. Our university hospital system is home to a school of medicine. We also have a school of dental medicine, as well as nursing, social welfare, and health professions. So while all of those programs are housed as a part of the university hospital system, they are located on our campus right here in Stony Brook, New York. Students are able to easily access that campus without having to take additional transportation. So it's all located on one campus. It is about a 10 to 15 minute walk from the top photo to our University Medical Center. But the benefit is that students have opportunities for research, opportunities for learning, and opportunity for internships located right here on our campus. So a little bit more about our campus and more specifically the students we are bringing and recruiting to Stony Brook University. Our first year class is 3,964 for the start of the fall 2025 semester. So we are a mid-size to large institution based here in the United States. Again, a total of just under 28,000 students make up our our total university enrollment. Those approximately 4,000 first-year students are joined by just over 1,200 transfer students each year as well. Now, the majority of the information we're going to share throughout the presentation today is focused on our first-year efforts, but certainly we're happy to provide additional information if any of you are supporting or working with transfer students. When we look at the identity of our students in a number of different ways, the first one that we start with is how they identify as male, female. 51% of our incoming students have male identification, and 49% of our students have female identification. We like to talk about this statistic because in the United States, there is a decrease of the number of male students who are attending four-year public institutions. So Stony Brook traditionally has been about that 50-50, give or take a percentage point or two from year to year. So we've remained pretty consistent there. We've also remained pretty consistent in the number of international students we have enrolled as a part of the distribution of our class. So on this next graphic, you're going to see that 80% of our class is actually from the state of New York. 12% of our class, just over 400 students, is from abroad, and just over 350 students are from out-of-state domestic located here within the United States. Of those international students and our out-of-state students, we have a desire to continue growing and supporting the number of students coming to our campus, which is good news for all of you. We are continuously interested in growing the number of students from abroad to our Stony Brook, New York campus. Right now, those students are coming from over 25 different countries, and we did see a difference of about 35 students enrolled in our first year class as international students this year versus last year. Now, I know many of you are familiar with some of the challenges the United States has faced over the past year with international student enrollment, where while we were disappointed to be down 35 students, we're also excited that that number is actually pretty small in relative to some of our peer institutions located here in the United States. When we look at the countries that students are coming from, again, this year we saw a slight decrease in the number of countries, but generally we are enrolling students upwards of 35 to 40 different countries in our first year class. Stony Brook is one of two flagship campuses of the State University of New York, which is our public education system here in the state of New York. And as one of two flagship campuses, we are the highest ranked as well as the second largest of those campuses. But we have the highest number of applications that we receive to the university out of the entire university system. Just over 64,000 students applied for admission to Stony Brook University in this past year. And of those students, we offered admission to 48% of those students who applied for admission for the fall 2025 semester. When we continue to look at identity of our students, of course, the country that they're coming from, the states that they're coming from, if they're male or female. We also look specifically for our domestic students and the type of diversity based off of their race and ethnicity that they report to the university. Now, we don't include international students in these summaries and in this report. So international students are separate from these populations. This population specifically is based off of our domestic students. But I wanted to share this in context of the type of diversity that the university has, not only by country of origin and international identity, but also for students who are bringing different perspectives and different identities. Regardless of where those students are coming from, be it the United States, the state of New York, or from abroad, we do embrace and promote diverse activity, diverse identities, and we embrace and promote, but also support those students across a number of cultural centers and student success centers, like our International Student Success Center, as a part of their experience here at Stony Brook. Within the state of New York, we have 62 counties, and we bring students in from the vast majority of those, but we continue to work on that. And then from outside the state of New York, from 40 different states plus the District of Columbia. Students are represented in our class. I'm going to jump back over to the bottom left of the screen where you see our average GPA. We do have an average GPA of 95. This is on a US-based 100-point scale. And we are test optional specifically for ACT and SAT submission. For students who are submitting scores, you're going to see the averages located on the screen there. But these averages are based off of approximately 1,600 students. So of the 3,964 students who enrolled, about 1,600 of those students said, please, I'm going to submit my ACT or SAT score, and I would like those considered as a part of the admissions process. Students who are submitting test scores are traditionally housed within our College of Engineering and Applied Sciences, as well as our health professions programs. And we know that students within those programs traditionally score higher as an applicant to Stony Brook University. So there's a couple of elements that we have to consider contextually behind the numbers that we're sharing as a part of our class profile as well. Now, when we look a little bit more at our undergraduate students and our progress of applications, I wanted to highlight just a few additional numbers here. So for the fall 2025, total enrollment of 27,196. And when we look at the international student undergraduate enrollment within that, you'll see that we have 3,770 international total students enrolled across the university. When we look a little bit more at the number of international students who make up the population of those who are applying and a part of that 3,964 enrolled, you'll see that we had, again, just over 64,000 first-year applications. Of those, 8,445 first-year international applications specifically. You'll see on the next line that of those 8,445, we admitted 5,665, and then we enrolled 469 of those students. So I like to highlight this because on the last slide I mentioned that we had an overall admit rate of 48%. That was across all populations to the university. But here you're going to see the significant difference in the number of international students that we are offering admission to. Our goal is to continue increasing the number of students that we're able to offer admission to, and by extension, again, increase the number of enrolled students that we're offering, that we're bringing to the campus. Now, where we're bringing them, again, I highlighted a little bit, but on this map, it's a good visual for you to see where we're at. If you look at that red star, again, in the center of the map, that is where our campus is located. To the left, you'll see New York City highlighted in red, and to the right, you'll see our Stony Brook Southampton campus, again, right there on the Atlantic Ocean highlighted in red. On this map, you're also going to see that we are to the east of the main international airport, JFK, but also LaGuardia Airport. Most of our international students do fly in and out of JFK, and we have buses as a part of the welcome experience for students that they can hop on and come out to our campus as a part of the move-in for their first semester as well. You're also going to see on this map that we have multiple train lines that run across Long Island. We do have a train stop adjacent to our campus. It is a short walk from the main portion of our campus to that train stop, but students can jump on that train and make it into New York City within about an hour and 20 to hour and 30 minutes if they're interested in engaging in the benefits of a close proximity to New York City without being located in New York City. We also like to highlight the distance on the screen because many of the elements that people think about with proximity to New York City, first and foremost, is we are not located in New York City. We are, again, a distance from New York City. We have close proximity, but that proximity does mean that elements like safety are not as much of a concern for our students because of our suburban location. Continuing on, I did want to jump into some of those updates that we launched for this year as a part of the application for the fall 2026 semester. Now, the first one is that we are now asking students to identify two majors that they may be interested in studying here at Stony Brook University. Part of why we are asking students to indicate two majors is because quite often we have students who are eligible for admission, but maybe not admissible to a competitive program or to a program that they intend to study in their first semester. So this is really a pathway opportunity. When we look at competitive programs for international students, we of course look at an example like our College of Business. We do have business related majors like economics that are not housed within the College of Business. So if a student has an interest in business and as their first choice major, they could indicate economics as their second choice major. If they're not admissible to business, we would then give them consideration for economics. This is not intended for students to double major at the university. This is specifically intended to gain interest in multiple majors for an admission review purpose. We do have opportunities for students to double major and to major minor or to have multiple minors to support their major, but that happens later as part of their enrollment process, not as part of the application process. We are now also asking students to indicate interest in an honors program, and we'll take a deeper dive into honors opportunities at the university in just a few more moments. Another important update is we are now asking students about their interest in studying abroad. This is important because, as we learned from this year, this creates an opportunity and a pathway for students to start at Stony Brook if they have any challenges in obtaining their visa, if they have any challenges in obtaining a visa appointment, or if they would just like to start abroad for their first semester, get acclimated to a US-based education institution before coming to the United States. Now, the way these study abroad programs work, we have 3 locations, one in Korea, one in China, and one in Italy. Students can study for their first semester in one of these countries. This past year, we had about 70 students who took us up on that opportunity, where they're studying in one of these 3 countries for the fall semester, and then coming over to our New York campus to pick up their studies in the spring semester. All of the curriculum is designed and built so that it's a seamless transition. We have support staff at each of the sites, each of those 3 sites. So we truly have an opportunity for students to get started with us, even if it's not right here at our New York campus in their first semester. So we ask about that opportunity on the application, again, so we can more easily identify pathway opportunities that students may want to explore. Now, there were some updates to the Common Application. The Common Application did change a question about citizenship, which has caused a number of additional questions for our team, as well as for the Common App team, about how students are answering that question. We're just encouraging students to reach out and ask for help if they need more understanding or additional insight into the structure of those citizenship questions. But that is important for us because that is what sets the tuition rate for students right from the start. And then the last addition is, again, specific to Stony Brook. We have added a new checklist item. So after a student submits the application, there's a new checklist item that more specifically is targeted for students who are applying as a Chinese citizen, or if they are applying from mainland China. This question is for any Chinese citizen, regardless of their current address, so even Chinese citizens located within the United States. This is allowing us to share their personal identifiable information across our educational ecosystem at the university. So while they're submitting to the admissions office, their information is later shared with our orientation office, our advising office, our student affairs office, and they use multiple systems to be able to manage their students and tracking of those students. This is giving us permission to share their personal information with our other offices and our other colleagues across campus. This is a requirement for all students to submit, but again, it happens after the actual application submission. So it doesn't relate to the review or admissibility determination. it does relate to the enrollment process for students should they be admissible to the university. Looking at additional updates for this year, we offered for the first time this year a new major in rhetoric and writing, and also a new major in accounting. Both of these programs are listed on the application for the first time for the fall 2026 onboarding experience. If you are working with students interested in a creative writing program, we have a small niche program. New this year is that program no longer requires a specific letter of recommendation for their program. We've talked about the application now asking for 2 majors, so I'm going to jump back up to that middle bullet point, which is we do offer pre-college summer programs. We have multiple programs over the course of 3 weeks in the summer. These are residential programs, so students are able to stay on our campus as a part of the summer experience and pre-college program. There are programs that are offered across a number of areas in STEM, in the medical field, in exploring health careers, in business, in writing and journalism. What's great about these programs is they are designed for students to come experience a college background and a college experience, be able to network and learn more about our institution. And then if those students enroll at our institution, they are offered additional dollars from a financial aid perspective. We do see students on campus throughout the fall and the spring for visiting campus and taking tours. This past fall, we offered 2 CWIF preview days. We did have 2 international students join us. So we don't limit if international students are able to join us, but we know that in the fall, because of the travel to our campus, it makes it a little more difficult to see and host international students as a part of our fall experience. As a part of our spring experience for admitted students, we also see international students every year who are able to join us for one of our admitted CWIF days. These programs are specifically designed to attract admitted students to our university, engage with faculty members and offices across our campus that are going to help support them throughout the course of their first year. But really where we are engaging with our vast majority of international students is through our ongoing virtual engagement opportunities. At the start of our program, Ben mentioned it is International Education Week, and this week we were able to offer programs to support international engagement as a part of International Education Week. Ben hosted one on how to finance your education in the US, where we've hosted information session around student success with international students at the start of this week. We had a couple of general programs about the admissions process. So truly a number of opportunities that students have to engage with us, not just during International Education Week, but throughout the entire year. Throughout the entire year, we host programs that are based off of academic program. So if students are interested in learning more about our biology program, psychology program, engineering program, those are offered periodically throughout the year in a virtual setting. We also have general information sessions about admissions so students can understand a little bit more about applying to the university. We offer sessions that are designed around how to explore pre-medicine tracks at US-based institutions. And so while our goal in engaging with international students is, of course, to encourage them to explore Stony Brook, there are opportunities, for example, like the how to finance your education in the United States or how to explore a pre-medical track in the United States at US-based institutions that may be applicable to other schools. So we find that good balance as a way to be able to both attract students to Stony Brook, share more about Stony Brook, but also just ensure that we're doing our part as a part of the international education community to help educate students on what those opportunities look like here within the United States. I mentioned briefly our honors program. So we are home to a University Honors College, University Scholars Program, and a WISE program as our 3 primary programs. There are other opportunities available. For example, we have an honors in computer science program. We also have an honors in nursing program. But as these 3 primary programs, these programs are reviewed as a part of the application process when students are applying for undergraduate admissions. When they apply, they just select an indicator on their application if they're interested in being considered for one of these programs. And if they say yes, then we send them additional information and requirements about how to apply for these programs. The three biggest differences in these programs is that our honors college is academic focused. So if you think about a US-based honors curriculum that is course-related, curriculum-based, very academic focused, designated faculty members, smaller classroom experience, a very traditional honors type of approach. The next program is our University Scholars Program, and our University Scholars Program is community and leadership based. Leadership seminars built around a community focus, built around common community themes, but really focused on helping students to enhance their leadership skills. And then finally, our WISE program. The traditional acronym WISE stands for Women in Science and Engineering. And while women is in the name, we don't limit this program to just female or women identified students. This program is available for any student from an underrepresented background who has an interest in continuing to explore careers within the STEM fields and STEM disciplines. So we really offer a broad spectrum of opportunity here, from an academic focus to a leadership and community focus to a career and outcome focused program, all great opportunities that students can explore to enhance that academic experience on our campus. So let's now look at how students get to Stony Brook through some pathways. And here's where we're going to jump around just a little bit because we have so much information to share with you. We want to make sure you understand all of the different elements. So again, the first pathway is our students applying as a first-year student, again, directly here to our New York campus in Stony Brook, but also to our campus in Korea. The campus in Korea is a separate application from our Stony Brook campus here in New York, but it does give students the opportunity to be reviewed for admission to either campus. Students reviewed at the Korea campus are also reviewed by the New York campus because we ensure that students in admissibility, when they come to the New York campus as a part of that experience, are going to be successful here. So first-year students have those two pathways. And then, those two paths, as well as that first year abroad program, which happens after applying to the university, of course. Students interested in that first year abroad program, that FLY program, do have to be admitted first to the university before they can consider that as an option. The next option is through our Intensive English Center. We are home to an IEC. Students can apply directly to Stony Brook's IEC program, or we may offer them conditional admission via their first year application. So what determines if a student is going to be offered conditional admission from undergraduate admissions is, of course, their English proficiency. If they are otherwise admissible to the university, but their English proficiency score is a little bit lower than we are accepting, then we will quite often encourage students to start as a part of the Intensive English Center in one of their programs. And then we tell them upon admission, if you successfully complete the IEC structure and program, you are then admissible as a matriculated student to the university. So that's the second pathway. And the third pathway is as a transfer student. So again, we enroll just over 1,200 transfer students, including international students every year. These are students who do start at another institution. We look for students to complete at least 24 hours, which is full-time standing in each fall and spring semester before they transfer to Stony Brook. So 3 different pathways, 3 very good options for students to consider. Again, as we grow our international students and continue to support international students, we have these 3 distinct pathways to ensure we're able to meet students regardless of where they are within their educational journey. A little bit more about that first year application process. Students will apply online. We accept 3 different application platforms, primarily from international students. We see them applying through the Common Application. We do require 1 essay be submitted as a part of the application to the university. We require official transcripts for US equivalent of grades 9 through 11 because grade 12 is likely in progress. So grade 9, grade 10, and grade 11. We do require official transcripts be submitted by the high school that they attended. We also require one letter of recommendation. The letter of recommendation does not have to come from you. It can be from you. It can be from a school counselor, from a teacher, from a school administrator or principal. It can come from a community member or someone who knows the student very well and can speak to their academic and community potential as a part of our community here in New York. I mentioned already that ACT and SAT scores are optional, but not optional is English proficiency scores. And I like to clarify this because quite often students will see that test scores are optional, and they might assume that that includes English proficiency test scores, but we do require English proficiency test scores. If a student is studying at an international US-based curriculum high school for at least 3 years or have studied for at least 3 years at a high school in the United States, then we waive that requirement as well. We just wrapped up our first early action application deadline for this year, November 1st. November 1st is a completion deadline. Completion deadline means that all of those materials on the last slide must be received in our office by November the 1st for a student to be considered as on time for early action. Students who apply by November 1st do receive priority consideration for our programs within our College of Engineering and Applied Sciences, as well as our creative writing program. Now, I know we are past November 1st, so don't be concerned if you have students who are interested in Stony Brook. There is still plenty of time for them to apply. Our final application deadline is January the 15th. Again, January 15th is a completion deadline, so we want to ensure that all of those materials are received by January the 15th. For students who did apply and were complete by November the 1st, our guarantee is that they will receive decisions by January the 30th. And for students who apply and are complete by January 15th, our guarantee is that they will receive a decision by March the 27th. Now on your screen on the bottom right-hand side, you're going to see that we have January 30th and March 27th listed, but we also have additional dates listed there. We are actually going to be rolling out our first round of decisions on December the 12th. So you'll see that noted there. For students who are ready for a decision, some students may still be in review. And so those students will hear back on January 30th. And then after that, students will hear back on February 27th with, again, our final round of decisions happening on March the 27th. When we look at the cost, we of course want to be transparent about estimated cost for students to be aware of. Now on this slide, we list New York resident costs as well as out-of-state resident costs, just so you can see the comparison between the two populations. You're going to see that tuition is listed here for out-of-state residents. For our classification of out-of-state residents, that is both outside the state of New York and domestic-based, as well as international. So international is considered for tuition purposes out-of-state resident. You're going to see that there's some fees listed there, some housing costs, some estimated meal costs. We do not require students to live on campus at any time as a part of their undergraduate education at Stony Brook. We do highly encourage it for at least the first year, if not even the first and second year. There is limited housing available off campus that students can explore, but the vast majority of our international students are finding a location to live on campus. If students meet the application deadlines for housing, they are guaranteed housing in each year. So that's something that we like to elevate as well. As a part of these costs, this does include a mandatory insurance cost. It also includes things like our student recreation fee, our student health fee, the insurance fees, all of those small elements, transportation for the bus system on our campus are wrapped up into that fees line. We do have additional detailed information about what's included on our website. So if students are looking for more information, we would encourage them to look at our website for additional details about what is included across all of these components. While we have a cost, of course, we also have an opportunity to help students finance their education. The first way that we provide that opportunity is through a merit-based scholarship system. The merit-based scholarship system for international students is called the Global Excellence Scholarship. The Global Excellence Scholarship is based primarily off of academic criteria. So when I shared at the very start of the presentation that we use a 100-point scale, we are converting GPAs from the students' home countries to a US-based 100-point scale. That 100-point scale is then used to determine the level of scholarship that students may be eligible for. Within the $1,000 to $10,000 range, there are 4 different levels that students may be eligible for based off of their academic performance at their high school from grades 9 through 11. So for students who are earning the $1,000 level, those are students who tend to come in at the lower end of our profile. And for students who are earning the $10,000, those are students who are coming in at the upper portion of our academic profile. In addition to the Global Excellence Scholarship, which students are notified about at the time of admission, we also are a participating institution in the You Are Welcome Here Scholarship. The You Are Welcome Here Scholarship has been a longstanding tradition at Stony Brook University. This past year, we awarded 10 students a 50% tuition scholarship, 50% off of the annual tuition cost, awarded up to 10 students each year. Students can come from various countries and study various programs. We look at a video submission as a part of the application for the You Are Welcome Here Scholarship, but it is a wonderful opportunity for students to submit a short couple-minute video talking about their interest and desire to study in the United States and connection to Stony Brook to be considered for up to, again, 50% tuition. An additional opportunity is through Scholarship Universe. Scholarship Universe is a widely used platform at US-based institutions that host multiple scholarships per institution. So what that means at Stony Brook is that we have a few hundred scholarships that students can apply for through the Scholarship Universe platform. Now, the Scholarship Universe platform is only accessible after students have deposited and have told us, yes, I intend to come to Stony Brook. At that point, students can start applying for additional scholarships. So the Global Excellence and the You Are Welcome students could know about before they deposit to the university. In fact, they will know before they deposit to the university. The additional opportunities happen after. And then finally, through our Office of Global Affairs, which is a strong partner office to undergraduate admissions, they do offer a global conflict scholarship. These criteria and specifically the countries may change from year to year. So if students are experiencing a conflict within their home country on a global scale, on a national scale, there may be opportunities for them to receive additional funding to study here at Stony Brook University. So we would just encourage students to explore that through our Office of Global Affairs and their scholarship programs as well. I mentioned a little bit about housing on campus, but to share a little bit more, the buildings that you see on your screen is our brand new Seawolves Village, which is slated to open, was slated to open this current month. We've had a slight delay, so we're looking at an open date now in spring. We anticipate students will be able to start moving in the next few months into this new residential community. So we continue to support more students on our campus. I shared of the close to 28,000 students, about 11,000 students live on campus. So we certainly have that traditional residential experience as a part of what we offer to students. In 2027, we'll be opening a new residential hall with 300 additional beds. So we like to highlight here that our investment in our facilities and in our campus community continues to grow, even just from a residential experience with 800 additional beds coming online in the next 2 years. Now, all of this opportunity engagement happens with students' direct hands-on learning. We really encourage students to come to Stony Brook with the expectation that they are going to participate in a research experience, participate in an internship or a co-op experience, engage in some type of hands-on learning, perhaps a study abroad experience. We promote this and we speak about this as an option because we know the difference it makes when students are looking at the competitive job market. Our goal is to be able to connect students with these hands-on learning experiences so that they are the most well-prepared competitive applicant for the job market upon the completion of their time at Stony Brook. That is all supported by their engagement with our faculty as well. We also know that faculty members are quite often those who are writing letters of recommendation or providing verbal recommendations, either with lab experiences for research or for internships or even for jobs. So when students choose Stony Brook and they come to Stony Brook, they are coming into a very diverse faculty network. You'll see just a number of accolades on this slide that is a testament to the quality of faculty that is housed here at Stony Brook University. We are a research institution. We are a Carnegie classification R1, Research 1 institution. So students have the benefit of learning directly from faculty as the research is occurring, rather than reading about the research after the fact. They have the opportunity to engage hands-on in supporting that research. They have an opportunity to engage on in helping to curate and present that research, all through faculty mentors and through the guidance of these wonderful faculty members who are part of the Stony Brook University community. Our faculty members, of course, have received a number of accolades. You're going to see some pretty important folks listed on the screen, some of which we've just recently lost in the past few months here. But we like, again, to highlight these folks because of the quality of work and, most importantly, their contributions on a global scale to their designated fields. We have a longstanding tradition of supporting academics at our university, and our students, of course, are the direct beneficiary of these quality faculty members, the work that they're doing, and then the work that these faculty members have inspired their students to do as well. But we know that students are looking for opportunities even outside of the academic experience. And so we offer a huge community of support, whether that be through some of our traditions on campus or through student engagement and involvement. We have students who are involved in performing groups and theater groups. We have students who are involved as student athletes. We have students who are involved in our undergraduate student government and honor societies and identity-based organizations. We offer a tremendous opportunity for community engagement and involvement because we know that for students to be the most successful at our institution, they need that balance of strong academic support, faculty engagement, but also community engagement. So we offer these opportunities by design so that our students can find that balance and feel successful as an undergraduate at the university. We are home to 18 Division I athletic teams. So Division I athletic teams range from volleyball and football, basketball for both men and women, baseball and softball. But even if students aren't a Division I athlete, we do have intramural sports and club sports. So students still can stay active. We have a full recreation center, which is included as a part of the tuition and fee structure that students have access to every day of the week. We have opportunities for students to engage in programming like our paper airplane competition club, but also, for example, our club soccer team. So there is an opportunity for students to stay active and engaged from a physical fitness side, if that is something they are interested in doing on our campus. And ultimately, all of this leads to some pretty important outcomes. Our students within their first year of graduating, 95% of our students, to be specific, are either employed or enrolled in a graduate or professional school. The logos that you see on the screen are not meant to represent all locations, but to share from the past year examples of where our students have interned, have been placed with jobs, but it all happens in support of our Career Center. Our Career Center does have support specifically for international students that helps to tailor their outcomes and helps to tailor their career exploration. The Career Center offers opportunities for interviews to happen for internships, both on campus in that office if a student needs space to be able to do that, as well as they'll help facilitate off-campus experiences as well. The Career Center has success coaches, again, that are designated by population as well as by academic program. So for students who are looking for experiences in the STEM field or in business or within one of the humanities areas, we have specialists who work and are trained to work within those designated areas. So students are going to benefit and have access to a tremendous amount of resources as a part of their experience here at Stony Brook University. Just a couple of additional updates. We do have a slate.org integration. So for those of you that maybe have heard of slate.org or have used it for other institutions, this is an opportunity for you to track the progress of your students' applications to our university. We have a new updated admissions team website where you can connect with folks like Ben and the international admission counselors moving forward. And this year we have expanded our school counselor advisory board to include additional insights from international school counselors. We're excited that for the first time, we'll be bringing these school counselors to our campus this spring to be able to provide us additional feedback about our efforts and insight into the work that we're doing. That concludes the information that I wanted to share, but as Ben mentioned, we have reserved some time to be able to ask some questions. So I'm going to pause here and see if there are any questions that we can start helping to address for you at this time.
And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A box. And while we're waiting, I'm going to provide my information and also the general email for our international admissions team, should you like to reach out to us. And if Mark's okay with it, I'll provide his contact information as well.
Sure.
So you can reach out to him should you also have any questions you'd like to discuss.
Well, thank you. If you're thinking of any questions, we're going to hang on for a few more minutes, but let me thank you all for your participation today. Thank you for joining us. And more importantly, thank you for the important work that you do in support of students and families on a daily basis. Thank you for the support that you provide to Stony Brook University and our efforts. As Ben has shared, if there's anything that we can do to help answer questions after today, please don't hesitate to reach out and let us know. That's what we're here for.
And thank you again, Mark, for joining us today to present about Stony Brook. We're going to wait around for just maybe 1 or 2 more minutes to answer any questions anyone has. But again, I've included our contact information in the chat box, so feel free to reach out to us at any point, and we'll be more than happy to address any questions you might have about Stony Brook. All right, so if there are no more questions, I think we're going to conclude our session today. Thank you very much for attending, and we hope to be able to collaborate with you more in the future. Thanks again, Mark, and we hope everyone has a pleasant rest of their day. Bye.
Thank you.